Hello, gorgeous. Welcome to my channel. If you've landed here, chances are you have been affected by breast cancer or you know someone who has. Let me just first acknowledge that it's the call that no one wants to get, right? Like nobody wants a breast cancer diagnosis. It can be a devastating blow that immediately makes us question our mortality, right? Yet here you are, surviving and whatnot. Proud of you. Listen, whether you're newly diagnosed, going through treatment, have completed treatment, and show no evidence of disease, I am delighted to welcome you to Thriving on Purpose. This is a place for those of you who have been affected by breast cancer to come for hope, inspiration, and motivation. Here, you'll hear powerful stories of women affected by breast cancer who have used their diagnosis as a catalyst to thrive. They'll share what it means to them to thrive and how that shows up for them in their lives. You'll hear from women who are no longer shrinking or playing it small and who are living each day with intention because they are determined to make the rest of their life the best of their life. And you can too, right? So just to tell you a little bit about me, my name is D'Manuel Cloud, and I am a breast cancer recovery strategist, speaker, author, and two-time breast cancer survivor. This past January 2024, I celebrate 16 years of cancer remission, or as they refer to it now, no evidence of disease. I'm on no chemotherapy drugs whatsoever, and I see my survivorship clinic once a year for my mammogram. Since having breast cancer, I've run several marathons, traveled to exotic places like Tahiti and Bora Bora. I've raised two amazing children. I've married the love of my life, started a few businesses, including investing in real estate, where I built a rental portfolio valued at over $1 million. I have since walked away from corporate America to do what I love doing full time, which is being a breast cancer recovery strategist and helping women to move beyond their diagnosis to creating a life they love. I have freedom of my time to go where I want, when I want, and to work from anywhere. I also recently realized my dream and published my first book entitled Beauty in the Breakdown, Finding Peace in the Midst of Life's Disruptions, which recently hit bestseller on Amazon, right? I live a full and happy life now, free from the worries of breast cancer, and instead intentionally creating the life that I want. I'm living my dream life. And ladies, I figured out that the only reason that I wasn't living my dream life is because I wasn't actively creating it. Talk about an aha moment. Light bulb, please. Has anybody else ever had an aha moment that changed your life? Let me hear about it in the comments. So I had to figure out how to move through the fear that was preventing me from having a life that I love. And I can now say with sincerity that I truly love my life and I love what I'm continuing to create. I now genuinely know what the gurus mean when they say, do something you love and you'll never work a day in your life. My life feels like I wished for it and God answered. This is what it means to me to thrive. But I'll be honest with you, it hasn't always been this way. Like most people, I followed the familiar and popular path. Work hard, get married, save money, buy a house, have kids, live happily ever after. Except I looked up years later and realized I was anything but happy. I had bought into the American dream, except it didn't feel like a dream. I continued to have this tugging feeling that I was living the wrong life and that I was meant to be doing something different, something more. but I ignored it because I was afraid to disrupt the happiness of others. Then one day after breakfast, I felt a sharp pain in the left upper portion of my chest. I thought it might be indigestion, but when I reached up to touch the site of the pain, I felt a lump. I wasted no time. I immediately got on the phone and called my doctor to have the lump checked out. I went in for a biopsy, and when my doctor called me in to share the diagnosis with me, he delivered the news: stage 2 inductal carcinoma. It was as if the air had been sucked out of the room. I was scared. My first thought was, what about my kids? I remember thinking, I have two children ages 5 and 14. What did this mean for them? Will I live to see them graduate high school, college, get married, have children, and get there happily ever after? Nonetheless, my fantastic medical team here at MD Anderson in Houston, Texas, devised my treatment plan. I went through chemotherapy, a lumpectomy, radiation, and another round of chemotherapy with a drug that was promoted to help keep cancer in remission. I did all the things the medical professionals advise. Then, even with no family medical history of breast cancer, it came back. Sugar, honey, iced tea was my thought. I was devastated, to say the least, because here we go again. This time it was my nurse who said something that got my attention. She said, you need to reduce the stress in your life. And this was a huge wake-up call for me because I had never associated stress with breast cancer. It was like she turned on the lights for me, and I realized I had done nothing about the environment that had created the space for cancer to flourish in my body. I went right back to living the same life with the same situations and habits that had created cancer in the first place. And you know what they say? The definition of insanity is doing the same thing and expecting different results. Nothing changes if nothing changes. So this time I enrolled myself into an intense personal development course and got myself a coach. Then one day, out of the blue, my mentor pops this question that I want you to think about today. What's the secret recipe to your own happiness? What do you need to do to live authentically and happily? Because have you ever just really looked at your life and just had this hunch that something was missing? Like there's this whole other side of you that's just dying to come out. Or maybe you looked at your life and felt kind of guilty for thinking this isn't enough. Anyway, I took what my mentor said to heart and I began assessing the areas in my life where I knew I wasn't happy. And with my coach cheering me on step by step, week after week, month after month, I finally got the guts to actively start creating the life I wanted. I found the courage to stop sacrificing my happiness for the happiness of everyone else. I found the courage to leave a stressful job that even though it paid well, it was way too stressful. I finally got intentional about my relationships and I found the courage to acknowledge that I wasn't happy in my marriage and I found the strength to ask for a divorce. And I finally found the courage to come out of the closet and live as my authentic self and acknowledge that I'm a lesbian. See, I found the courage to embrace the authentic me and get intentional about what I wanted and needed to reduce my stress and create peace and happiness in my life so that I can reduce the chance of a recurrence and also live a life that I love. And it's my sincere desire that when you tune into this channel, that the stories of triumph, hope, inspiration, and motivation will inspire you to create a life that you love too. That you'll realize that breast cancer didn't happen to you, but that it happened for you to elevate you from just surviving in this life to thriving on purpose. So, thank you so much for tuning in. Please comment, like, and subscribe to my channel. And if you heard anything here today that inspires you, let me know in the comments. Y'all be sweet and be blessed. Until next time. And remember, we're thriving on purpose. Mwah. Bye for now.